Hey everyone, George here and welcome back. I have been talking about for some time now building an authentic South American tank with wild discus, and I'm about that much closer to actually making this happen. Now, the reason why it hasn't happened sooner, unfortunately, I've had some health issues here over the last couple of months, some that I'm going to have to deal with long term. But as you know, if you've been watching the last several videos of mine, I've had a real problem with the throat. You can hear it a little bit today, but things are getting better. But I want to talk about a true South American tank and what that would look like. It doesn't look anything like what we would think it would look like as far as what this tank represents, or many of the tanks in my gallery here that contain discus fish, angels, and so forth. What I'm talking about is a true, authentic piece or slice of the Amazon River, the tributaries that go anywhere from Colombia to Peru to Brazil, and those areas in which these discus fish would originate from, and getting some actual wild discus fish, finding out exactly where they came from, find out what tributary or river that they came from, where they were captured before being sold on the market, and finding out exactly what that environment looks like. Now, in order to do this, there's only one way to truly, really bring that into focus and to make it happen correctly, and that is to actually go to these countries and see what is a piece of that would look like in reality. Now, my daughter's down in Argentina right now, and I've been talking about going down and meeting her, and on the way down I'm thinking about stopping in Colombia, Brazil, and Peru, and going out with some folks that are in the scientific community that are going to help me to get a snapshot of what a South American tank would look like if I were to build it. Now, we look at all these tanks and we think that they're beautiful, and they are. I have no problem saying that I'm very proud of the tanks that I have, but I talked about maybe 15-20 videos ago about making a true, authentic South American tank and what I thought it would take to do that. And the one thing that I know is, first of all, you can't have a 65, 75, 120 gallon tank. The 120 would have to be absolute minimum. I think we're looking at possibly a 200 gallon tank, and something that has some height to it so that when these fish grow, they can be fine with not having problems swimming in the tank and having a feeling of being crowded. Now, this doesn't include just discus. We're talking about discus along with wild angels such as ultums or monocupras, any of these angels that are wild and found in the wild, living among the discus that we're talking about here. I would like to incorporate every kind of fish that would be in that area that would not be disruptive to the tank, because we could not truly do this in even a 200 gallon tank, because there are fish that the discus may live among, but they could never live in a confined area with, simply because the fish get way too big or they're natural enemies to each other. So we would have to really look at fish that are friendly to each other. Now, discus obviously live with tetras, the rummy nose, the cardinal tetra, the neon tetra, several others that I don't want to list all of them here, but many of which we already see in our tanks. And these are very, very authentic tanks in the sense that these would be the fish that your wild discus would be cohabitating with in the wild. So we're going to look at that a little bit closer. We're going to take some time to look at what that bottom of the tributary or the river would look like. And we're going to try to build that exactly the way it is, with possibly some roots from the mangroves with some leaves on them. If you look at discus in the wild, a lot of them do their breeding in 10 or more feet of water. And we think of discus as being in tanks where they don't like a lot of water flow. The bottom line is, in reality, if you were to look at wild discus, because I've been to these countries before, and I've seen firsthand that the discus that live in these areas are not fish that are living in very calm areas and so forth. The water sometimes can be very, very difficult to even stand up in if you're a human being. And these fish seem to navigate this rather easily and raise their young in that, and they do it in ways that are very unique to the species, and they find ways around this. Now, I'm excited about this project. I'm thinking that we can get this going in a few months here. Like I said, I'd like to get down to these countries, take a look, and take a real good snapshot, and maybe make a really nice video of the trip itself, and take a real nice snapshot, not just on video, but actually looking at it myself to find out exactly what it would take to take a slice of the Amazon River or the tributaries that are known to support the life of discus fish in, like I said, Colombia, Peru, Brazil, all the areas where most of these species are found, and really take a close look at it and give you an idea of what that might look like. I'm really excited about this, and like I said, I don't think we can do this in less than a 200 gallon, so I'm looking into that also right now. I'm hoping that there's going to be someone out there in the tank world who is going to be able to supply me with a tank like that, and get it to me either as a gesture for me to promote their product, or give it to me at a very good discount so that we can really make this thing happen. I think it's going to be expensive. I think that the plumbing for this alone is probably going to be a lot more sophisticated than anything that I have right now. So the bottom line is, I want to let you know that I'm working on this. I hadn't forgot about it. I know we talked about this, like I said, 10-15 videos ago, about putting together a real South American tank, and I'm still very much on that track to do that. But I want to do it right, and I want to do it so authentically that if you were to look at it, you would say to yourself, wow, that looks nothing like what I would think a tank would look like for discus fish. Number one, we're not going to have hybrid discus. We're going to have wild discus. We're going to have wild caught rummy nose tetras, cardinal tetras, neon tetras, whatever we end up with, plecos, corridoras. There are an endless amount of fish, but we're going to take one particular spot in whichever one of these countries I decide that I'm going to take these discus from, and we're going to make sure that we get all of our fish collection done in that area so that all of the tank is authentic in every single way. Thanks for joining me today. I'm very excited about getting this project going. And it's really going to help me too, because I really need to get moving around a little bit here. Like I said, I've had some health issues that have been plaguing me, and I think that doing this is going to get me into a situation where I'm getting out and about and feeling better and working on getting healthy again. And it's not for lack of trying. I do a lot of exercising. I try to eat right and all that. But you know, the bottom line is, as human beings, we get diseased up based on some of the things that happen in our lives, whether it be stress, DNA, all environmental issues around us. There's all kinds of reasons why we get unhealthy, and I don't want to go into a whole thing like that. That's a completely different video on its own. But I want to let you know that I think doing this is going to help me immensely health-wise, and it's also going to be a very exciting adventure for me and journey that I want to share with you to help show you that some of these more authentic tanks and some of the scapes that are required to make an authentic tank are very different than what we're used to, but can be absolutely beautiful. And again, I'm extremely excited about doing that, and I hope that you are as excited as I am. Now, I don't think that we're going to get this up and going until June or July. I think it's going to take quite a while to put all this together. So I hope that you will be patient with me and understand that behind the scenes I'm doing a lot to get this to happen, but it does take a little time. By the time you visit, you get these fish and they go through the quarantine and finding an exporter in the location that you're at, trying to find the materials. I want actual materials to come from these areas as well. And putting this all together, putting up a design is going to take a little time. But thank you for joining me today. I wanted to give you an update on my South American tank ideas. I don't have anything to show you today, and I hope this video wasn't boring to you, but please comment down below as to what your feelings are on doing a tank like this. Thank you for joining me today. Thank you for all of your wonderful thoughts and prayers for my health. And I'm doing much better. I'm not there yet, but I'm doing much better. And I'm getting better, I believe, every day. So again, thank you for joining me today. I appreciate it. That's it for today. We will see you on the next one. Until then, we're out of here.